At the Longevity Escape Velocity Foundation, sometimes referred to as LEV Foundation, or just LEVF for short, a primary question always under consideration is, how might we extend healthy human lifespans? Well, in 2021, we decided to try to answer this question by first asking, what has worked in rodents, that is, in mice and rats? You see, there have been hundreds of scientific studies on rodents that have reported that a particular intervention successfully extended lifespan. In 2021, the LEV Foundation President and Chief Science Officer Dr. Aubrey de Grey decided that LEV Foundation should try to find all studies that reported successful lifespan extension in rodents and put that information into a central location. So, we did that. It looks something like this. Dr. de Grey thought this information might be very useful because many people in the longevity research field have been wondering, if lifespan extension can be achieved in rodents with single interventions, would more lifespan extension be possible if we combined previously successful interventions? So, LEV Foundation researchers used the rodent lifespan extension data to plan experiments in mice using a combination of treatments, each of which had been reported in a previous study to extend rodent lifespan. These combination experiments are LEV Foundation's Robust Mouse Rejuvenation Research Program, abbreviated RMR. In that program, LEV Foundation researchers used the large data set of lifespan studies mentioned earlier to help them choose which interventions, if used in combination, might reasonably result in much longer-lived mice. And they hoped the findings from this program could translate to humans, resulting in healthy, longer-lived people. As of the end of 2025, LEV Foundation has actually finished its first RMR study called RMR1 and is in the process of planning and performing pilot studies for RMR2, the second iteration of the program. You can read more about the RMR program at LEV Foundation's website, levf.org. But what about all that study data about successful life extension interventions in rodents that LEV Foundation uses to design its RMR experiments? At the beginning of the RMR1 study, this data was just sitting in a private spreadsheet. LEV Foundation decided it would be a good idea to make this data set available to the public so other researchers could use it in their research and experimental designs. So they built a software tool that enables users to search and sort this study data about lifespan extension experiments in rodents. It looks like this. They decided to call it the Rodent Aging Interventions Database, or RAID for short. It's freely available at LEV Foundation's website, levf.org/RAID. If we scroll down a bit, you can see some of the data in the database is currently sorted and displayed by the magnitude of effect that a given intervention had on the average lifespan, which includes data of both mean and median lifespan. But you can also rank and visualize the data by the magnitude of the effect that each intervention had on maximum lifespan. The visualization of the lifespan extension effect is shown in the horizontal bar chart below. The length of each bar represents its magnitude of lifespan extension relative to the other interventions currently being visualized. The details of each experiment, such as the intervention name, age of onset, abbreviated AO, number of days of lifespan extension, abbreviated LE, and the percentage increase in lifespan relative to the control group in that particular study, are written on each bar in the chart. You can also search for specific interventions using the intervention search field there at the top. For example, if you type rapamycin into the search bar, the results down below are immediately filtered such that only studies with the word rapamycin in its intervention name are illustrated in the bar chart. Note that the pink bars represent the results of tests in female rodents, blue bars represent the results of tests in male rodents, and purple bars represent the results that were analyzed with data from both males and females combined or pooled in the statistical analysis. Gray bars are for the rare study that apparently didn't report the sex of the animals used in the experiment. Another useful feature of this tool is the ability to click on any entry to display the details of the study. For example, if we click on this top bar, this pink one, then scroll down, a table appears below the bar which contains many essential study characteristics and findings. This feature works for any of the bars in the bar chart. If we scroll back up, there's one more feature I'd like to show you. And that feature is the ability to filter the data that appears in the chart using other study parameters, including the age of onset of the intervention, the type of intervention, such as pharmaceutical, genetic, or dietary, the sex of the rodents in the case you want to examine study results in a particular sex, and the number treated in the case the study size is of particular interest to you. Give it a try for yourself. Again, the URL as of December 2025 is levf.org/RAID. The RAID database creation effort and some of its noteworthy findings are described in a manuscript published in early 2025 in the journal Aging, Albany, New York. You can find it in PubMed under the PubMed ID 40156933. At the time of the publication of this manuscript, RAID included 121 unique studies. But throughout 2025, I have added an additional 62 studies for a total of 183 unique studies currently in the dataset. And I have a list of about 40 more studies under consideration for inclusion. I'm the first author of this manuscript, Maximus Peto, the Chief Science Monitor for LEV Foundation, and the creator and narrator of this video. I performed most of the screening of the scientific literature to find studies to include in RAID, extracted the data from the research reports, and wrote the primary manuscript draft. The second author, Anthony Floyd, created the software tool you just saw using JavaScript. The third author, Ben Zeely, is the Director of Web Services and Content at LEV Foundation. Ben adapted Anthony's software tool for use on the web and enhanced its user interface. He also created the RAID name and the logo. And the final author, Dr. Aubrey de Grey, is the President and Chief Science Officer of LEV Foundation. He initiated this project for use by the Foundation in designing RMR experiments. If you have any suggestions for RAID or would like to nominate a study for inclusion in our dataset, you can email us at raid@levf.org. This concludes the introduction to the Rodent Aging Interventions Database. If you like this kind of work, you can make more of it happen by donating at LEV Foundation's website, levf.org/donate. Thanks for watching.